Are any of you playing with this high-flying disc? Are you feeling the difference in your experience? Let's start with despair. Tremendous resistance in despair. Fear, tremendous resistance in fear. Revenge, slightly less resistance in revenge. Anger, slightly less resistance in anger. Frustration, quite a bit less resistance in frustration. Overwhelmment, pretty close to frustration. Hopefulness, big jump, much less resistance in hopefulness. Believing, way less resistance. That's a big jump from hope to belief. So when you get into those categories that we're describing as hope and belief and knowing, that feels like sureness, feels like confidence, it feels like certainty, it feels like clarity, it feels like passion, it feels like enthusiasm, it feels like laughter, it feels like fun, it feels like jovial, it feels like upliftment, it feels like lighthearted, it feels like easy, it feels like funny, it feels like love, it feels like appreciation. So when you get into those emotions that feel like that, you only know it because you've had the comparative experience. You see what we're getting at? So achieving that, you can all do that. We could tell you a story right now, and if we held you in concentration for a minute or two or three or four or five, we would bring you unquestionably to a feeling of love and appreciation. That's what those rampages are that we all get on together every now and again. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. But it's the sustaining of it that is really what we're asking you to reach for, because the sustaining of it in this day, in this day, in this day, makes your propensity for it greater tomorrow. And then the sustaining of it tomorrow makes your propensity for it greater the next day, until it just becomes so natural for you that it just feels odd when you're off. So that if someone presents something to you that initially feels good, and you acknowledge how you usually feel, and you identify with specifics what feeling good really, really, really is, then you can feel the offness of anything. You'll get to the place where you'll just know when a person enters your experience whether you want to proceed or withdraw. You'll know when any idea that they are presenting enters your experience whether you're wanting to proceed or withdraw. And your initial response to it is almost without question the right one. So the more mornings that you wake up with the intention of clarifying your vibration and being in that good feeling place, then the more anything that is off from that will stick out like a sore thumb. It really is that simple. We're not for a moment wanting to guide you away from thoughts that may have some resistance within them. We're trying to guide you to knowing the difference. Your question is the perfect state of being that we want you to be in. We want you to care about whether to move forward with this or not. We want you to care about the emotion within it. We want you to be able to consciously and personally discern it, you see. Because by the time you ask somebody else, the moment is past. These rendezvous, they're junctures that are always opening for you. So it's like a series of paths constantly opening. And when you've been in a consistent vibration, the path just opens and 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 not only leads you pretty swiftly to where you want to be, but it's really a delightful journey on your way to where you want to be. And the same thing is happening with the paths that are opening to the things you don't want. And we just think it would be a really nice thing, and it's ridiculous for it to be any other way for you. We want you to know which path you're on, and we want you to know at the beginning of the path. We don't think you should have to get so far down the path with so much discomfort under your belt before you realize. So picture this. Did you get a sort of picture of that? The paths? So let's say you have enough momentum going that this path is lighting up, 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 lighting up. You're having a pretty good time, a good time, a good time, a good time, good time, good time, and it leads to things that when they manifest you like them. Then there's this other path because you've been complaining and you've been worrying about that, and so this path lights up for you too. It's like the universe says, oh, you like that? Well, come this way, there's more of it. Oh, you like that? Well, come this way, there's more of it. Oh, you like that? Well, come this way, there's more of that. Oh, you like that? Well, come this way, there's more of that. Or the universe is also saying, oh, you don't like that? Well, come this way, there's more of that. Oh, you don't like that either? Well, come this way, there's more of that. Oh, you don't like that either? Well, come this way, there's more of that. Well, you don't like that? Well, come this way, there's more of that. At any point along these paths, oh, come this way, there's more of that, you can say, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I remember what high flying felt like. I remember that train of thought that I had that felt better. And you can be along that path, remember what that path felt like, and that path begins to turn and lead you back over to this path. It really is that way. With all kinds of converging, rendezvousing thoughts and people and comments and circumstances and events. So, your question is a good one. And this is what we heard you say. Abraham, how far along my negative path do you think I should go before I decide to do something different? That's what we heard you say. And our answer is not that far. Not that far. Because there's a momentum. There's a momentum in the path. There's a momentum that will carry you until sometimes, and that's why we've been saying to our friends recently, when you realize that you're on that path and you don't have the presence of mind to do something about changing the direction of it, take a nap. Take a nap or meditate. Do something very different from what you're doing. But don't keep talking to that person in the way you're talking to them about the things that you're talking about. Don't continue whatever's going on, because it's just going to lead to more and more and more. Esther, when she first began really hearing us, about 100 times a day, we heard her say, "Shut up, Esther." And she was just talking about her own mind. Or she would say, "That's unnecessary. That's unnecessary and unproductive." Just sort of talking to herself as she became aware that there was momentum on some thoughts in some directions that were not serving her, were not going to lead to where she wanted to go. But we'd like to talk about the paths in vivid enough terms that we can really get your attention on this. So you accept that here you stand, and let's say there's a path, maybe a convoluted path, leading to something fantastic. Got the picture? And there's a path, maybe a sort of convoluted path, meaning lots of twists and turns in it, leading to something you really aren't going to like when you get there. Got the picture? This path feels good every step of the way. This path feels bad every step of the way. So, maybe we're finding a way to say to you something that we've been saying to you for a long time. Sure, the manifestation is something that you care about, and it's coming, wanted or unwanted. The manifestation is coming from the path that you're on. But it really is being on the path that's the reason that you're here, you see. So, if somebody said to you, there is no final destination, there is no final destination. If someone said to you, you're eternal, you're eternal. There's no final destination. You are eternal. But you have the choice of feeling good now on your way to never getting it done. Or you have the choice of feeling bad on your way to never getting it done. Which do you choose? And if you can take the destination out of it and just choose the path, the good feeling path or the not good feeling path, then everything gets simpler, because it's the fixation on the destination and the fact that the destination hasn't manifested yet that is the reason that you're on that path. That was so good. We're going to say it again. We're going to say it again in another way. Your fixation on the manifestation and your keen awareness of the fact that it hasn't manifested yet is the reason that you introduce the resistance into the equation, which is what puts you on that not good feeling path. Did you get that? So we've been saying to you for a while, take the money out of the equation. Take the end result out of the equation. And that's what this determination to get on the high-flying disc is. What are you doing today? I'm getting on the high-flying disc. Why? Because I like being on the high-flying disc. Well, but what does that mean? It means I feel really good on the high-flying disc. But where does it lead to? It doesn't matter because I'm on the high-flying disc. Well, why do you do it? Because it feels so good to be on the high-flying disc. But what does it get you? Feeling good on the high-flying disc. But where are you going with that? It doesn't matter because I'm on the high-flying disc. But why do you do it? Because it feels so good to be on the high-flying disc. But where is it leading? Doesn't matter. I'm on the high-flying disc. But where is it leading? To more good-feeling things. Like what? It doesn't matter because I'm on the high-flying disc. And we know that just seems ridiculous in this world where you have planned and set goals and been deliberate and gone to school and got grades and have all kinds of people that are analyzing everything that you do in relationship to everything that everybody else is doing. And we say, stop it. Stop comparing yourself to everything and compare yourself to only one thing, which is your relationship with your source. And your source is on the high-flying disc. So this is what we really want to say. Those of you who've been listening to us for a while are about to have a breakthrough. So just sort of focus in here and hear this. So we've been talking to you about the vortex that you've been launching, the vibrational reality. Have you been following that? You know what you don't want, you know what you do want, which causes you to launch a rocket, and it creates this vortex. And today we told you that you've been launching these thoughts and creating these vibrational vortices, these vibrational realities on both wanted and unwanted things. But the source within you, the source from which you came, and the source who has been expanding and evolving as a result of your exposure to life here, has been tuning and orchestrating and tending to this high-flying vortex, which is who you really are, all that you've become. So that the source within you is on that high-flying disc. You could not have asked a better question. How do I know when I'm on it? You come into alignment with who you really are. When you're on the fearful disc, you come into alignment with the fearful thoughts you thought. And you come into alignment with other people who have thought those same fearful thoughts. And you come into alignment with experiences that aren't fun when they come, that bring you fear when you think about them or when you experience them. When you're on the frustration disc, you rendezvous with others who are frustrated, and you rendezvous with bad traffic and incoherent others. You rendezvous with disorganized others. But you don't rendezvous with the source within you on the ornery disc. And you don't rendezvous with the source within you on the fearful disc. And you don't rendezvous with the source within you on the hopeful disc. You rendezvous with the source within you on the high-flying disc, you see. That's how you know. That's how you know. When you consistently rendezvous there and you begin thinking thoughts, you begin to feel energy moving through your body. Visceral energy you can actually feel. Esther is sitting, writing on her focus wheel with her magic pen and waving her pen around in the air, and it feels to her as if she has the power of the universe, and she does, at her back, and she does, flowing through her focus toward whatever it is that she is choosing. World events, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how big or small her object of attention is. She can feel that energy coursing through her body when she's on that high-flying disc. There's no mistaking when you're on the high-flying disc. Your elation goes higher and higher and higher and higher until you've got energy running through your body. Are any of you getting it now? Are any of you beginning to feel that rhythm, that energy moving through you? And when you are in that state of focused being, with that kind of energy coursing through you, and you are looking outward to anything that you care about, you are moving down that path toward it. That path is being widened and deeper. It is more logical that you and others will follow. You are creating a current that means that not just you will go down the path, but others who are also on their high-flying disc, we swept in that path with you. So that the thought that you think is just your thought is never just your thought. It's a collective thought. It's coming from a collective consciousness. It's coming from the high-flying disc. You see, there's no mistaking the difference between the high-flying disc and the less than high-flying disc. There's no mistaking it. And in 30 days, you will have taught that to yourself.